Hello. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back to our Chinese class. But before we begin, we let us wait for other students who are joining us tonight for about 2 minutes, and then we shall move on. Appreciations for those who already made it on time. Yep. I sent a new link. I sent a new link to the students and those who are in our WhatsApp group. So if you can hear my voice, and very soon I'll be sharing the screen so that we can be looking at what we are going to be learning tonight. Yep. Yes. This is what we're going to be looking at tonight. Can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, you can type 1 in the chat box. You can type 1 in the chat box. I see Mr. Brian's comment. Okay, very good. So it means you can hear my voice and you can see the screen clearly. It is visible for all of you. That's really nice. That's really nice. And if you have some friends of yours who would really want to join us for this wonderful Chinese class, you can invite them as well by sharing the link with them, and then we can have wonderful session together. So in the next few minutes, we're going to be looking at some important lessons, and we shall be continuing from where we stopped last time. And this is, as you can see on your screen, in front of your screen, it is chapter 12. So last time we covered chapter 12, okay, and lesson 3. I invited some other students and I said we can wait for 2 minutes so that we start together. All right. So as we are waiting for them, you can be arranging your books, a pen. Make sure you have a pen at least so that you can take notes of what we are learning tonight. We're going to be looking at some new words and then we shall look at some dialogues. Yes, welcome. Welcome for those who have just joined our Chinese class. So you can just text me on WhatsApp just in case there is a problem with the live class. Yes, because I'm managing this class, but I can check on the WhatsApp and tell that something is not going well. Maybe the sound is not clear or the screen is not visible. All right. I welcome you once again, and I appreciate your commitment. For the first timers, those who have joined us for the first time, I'd say you're highly welcome and congratulations, because I know what it takes. It's a sacrifice. So thank you for considering this wonderful moment. So tonight, this is HSK2. We're going to be learning, this is HSK2, but we are coming to a completion of this book. We started in January, and we started HSK1. HSK1 and 2 initially, they are grouped in the beginners Chinese, and then HSK 3 and 4, this is another group which is intermediate. First of all, 1 and 2 beginners, 3 and 4 intermediate, and then 5 and 6, that is advanced Chinese. So very soon I'll be guiding you guys on how you can register wherever you are in this world, as long as there is a Confucius Institute in your country, or whether you're in China, whether you're in Africa, whether you're in Asia, how you can register for the HSK examination and then sit for the exam. And then within just not more than 2 months, you can get your certificates. All right, so without further ado, let's begin. So yeah, last time we were looking at this chapter, and then this is the title. It says 你穿的太少了，你穿的太少了 is like you. What did it mean last time? You wear too little, or yeah, the clothes you're putting on too little. You're putting on too little clothes. Maybe the weather is cold. And then here we saw 下雪. What is 雪? So last time we learned this 雪, and we said 雪 is a noun, okay? And it means snow. 雪 means snow. It's written, if you're using the keyboard, you just come on your keyboard and then type 雪, 西, u, and then the third one here on my screen. Okay, it looks like this. 雪, you click on it. This is 雪. It means snow. And then before 雪, there is this 下. And then 下, what does 下mean? 下means to fall, falling. So the snow falling from the sky or the clouds. And then 下雪 is to snow. 下雪了. Okay, and then new word number 4. Last time it was 零, which is 0. This is we all know 零 all the way from the numbers. Last time we are learning the numbers. And then we also looked at do. This is the 4th tone. You need to emphasize the tones because the tones are very important. Without the tones in Chinese, your pronunciation will not be so much clear. But then that's why we need to master the Chinese tones, because they are very, very important. Yes, as much as it has to do with speaking. If you want to be a good Chinese speaker, then you have to consider tones. Tones should be your friend. Do means degree, okay? Do means degree. So last time I gave you an example like 36度. So you say the number like 36, okay? Normally 36, and then do. This degree in Chinese you say do, okay? And then if it is -10, then you say 零下, okay? You can say 零下. Some people also say 负, because 负 is negative in Chinese, but if it is, as long as it is provided that it is below 0, automatically we all know mathematically it is negative, because after 0 then you can say positive. 0 is in the middle, and then before 0, negative to infinity. So this is 负. You can say 零下10度. 零下10度, just like in the dialogue. So do is degree. Number 6, we learned chuan. This chuan we said is a verb, okay? Is a verb. And it means to wear. You can wear a shirt. 你可以穿衬衫. 衬衫 is a shirt. You can wear a trouser. A trouser you can wear the clothes, okay, or to put on, to wear in Chinese is chuan. So you can repeat after me. Yes, you can repeat after me wherever you are. I just chuan is like this, the first tone. So Chinese has 4 tones. The first tone is like this, flat, okay, chuan, and it is a high pitched tone. So it sounds like chuan, chuan. Yeah, if it is chuan, and then the second one is rising like this. You see, the first direction is straight. second direction is rising like this. So it is, you can say chuan, you see, chuan. So as the tone changes, the meaning also changes. So this chuan for wearing, it is flat tone. And if it changes to the rising tone, then it will be chuan. And then chuan in Chinese means a boat, like the boat that this mode of transportation, water transportation, this equipment, the boat, okay? So it's called chuan in Chinese. And then there is a falling and rising tone, chuan. So you can say chuan, and then there is a falling tone, chuan, chuan. And then there is there's a soft tone, or you can say a tone that is, you can't see it anywhere, like here on ba, you see the ba, there is no tone on it, but it also has a sound, special sound. Or you can say fanjem ba, 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 yeah, very soft and light tone, okay? For example, another example, mama. So mama in Chinese, we know, we write it like the pinyin of mama is like this. It's like this, ma, okay? The first ma is the first tone, of course. And then the second syllable of ma has no tone above the vowel. It's just like this, the light and soft tone. So it's mama. Repeat, mama. You see the second ma is ma, ma, very soft and short, red, mama. And then we have jin. We said last time jin is to enter or to come in or to go in. Jin. For example, someone comes at your door and then knocks, and then you say, Qing Jin, please come in. Jin, to get in or to come in. I hope you're taking notes of these new words because we're going to be using them in the next few minutes. Okay, are we together? Are we still together? Yes, very good. Thank you very much, Sumira, for joining. We are very glad to have you tonight in our room. So, yep. Mama, yes. So here, let's read the dialogue together. So you can see in the dialogue, we have person A and person B, okay? Yeah, we say this is shushu. Shushu is uncle in Chinese. Yes, some people call them uncle, okay, in English, but in Chinese, you say shushu. So it is a culture in China when you see a man who is maybe the same age as your father, you can call them shushu or shifu. It depends what I mean, but you can say shushu, yeah, shushu. Like the attendants, the hotel attendants or the apartment attendants, those who are usually down in China, they call them shushu. Shushu means uncle, so you can say uncle. And then we have ayi. So this madam, maybe you can call her ayi. So ayi is auntie, yes, auntie or nanny, ayi. So shushu, uncle, ayi, auntie. So then we have A. Person A says 下雪了. So in winter, in some parts of the world, it snows, okay? Yeah, that is a very obvious sign of winter. 下雪, it means snowing. And then 今天真冷, 今天 is today. So if you say 真冷, this 真 means really, okay? It's really cold, long. That's why it has 两点水. 两点水 is the 2 drops of water. So for long, which is cold, you can use the 2 drops of water. Long. So this is how we write long. Long means cold. All together. So it says 今天真冷,今天真冷. So it is the same as saying 今天很冷. That 很 that we learned last time means very, but here is they use 真冷, so take note of that. So you can use 真冷 also to say it's very cold. This 真 literally means really, but it can also in this in the spoken Chinese can also mean very or extremely, blah blah blah. Okay, you can say 真冷, 真热, okay, 真好, okay, yeah, and so forth and so on. So B answers 有零下十度吧. This one looked at it, 零下 then is -10 here. Last time we said it. 有零下十度吧. This is the temperature, right? -10. And say 是啊，你穿的太少了. Then it says 你穿的太少了. You wear too little. Okay? Because we know in winter when it is cold outside, maybe in your room you can stay there and maybe just wear normally because there are some the water heaters and some people put the heaters in the house so that you will not feel so much cold. So you can be okay in your room, but if you're going outside, you should wear you should put on the winter clothes, okay, the gloves, the mittens, the winter shoes, and all that, the trousers and all that stuff for winter. So that's why he says 你穿的太少了. According to how she's dressing, she wore too little for the weather because it's too cold. 我们进房间吧，我们进房间吧. Let's get in. Let's get in the 房间 is the room. So let's go into the room, and then it says 好吧, 好吧. So this is very easy, and last time we looked at it, so we won't be spending a lot of time on it. So next we're going to be looking at the chapter 12 and verse 4. The title is 在家里. 在家里 means at home. You can find out the audio of these lessons on YouTube. You can just type in HSK2. Just a reminder, this is HSK2 book, okay? This is HSK2 book, but it has 15 chapters, and now we are on chapter 12. So it means we now have chapter 13, 14, and 15, 3 chapters, and then we shall get to the end of this HSK2, and then we shall start our HSK3 very soon, okay? All right, so at home, 在家里. So in the picture, you can see 2 persons. But before we continue, I want to confirm if my voice is still, you can still hear me. You're welcome. You're welcome. Can you hear me, everybody? Or if you can hear me, you can send one in the chat. Yeah, if my voice is still clear and my screen is visible, so that we can continue. We are moving on to, all right. Thank you, Brother Comfort. I see you in the room. Thanks for joining in. All right, so yeah, let's look at the new words here. So new word number 8 says it's Didi. Look at it. The second D is the same as the very light tone that we just mentioned earlier. It has no tone, but it's called Qing. It's called a soft tone, 轻声. Yeah. The other one can be 第一声, 第二声, 第三声, 第四声. There are 4 tones, but this one is the 5th tone, but you cannot see it. So it's soft tone. So you can say D. You see the first D is falling like D. That's why you need to emphasize it when you're pronouncing this one. Say D. Are we together? For example, how do you say no in Chinese? You say bu. So you see the same tone. It's also falling. Bu. Bu. And then Didi means younger brother. Last time we learned elder brother. And how do you say elder brother? Yeah, someone can text in the chat box how to say elder brother in Chinese, because now we are learning younger brother. So you need to know how to say elder brother, and then younger brother will be much easier. So the new word number 9 is Jin. Pay attention. This Jin means near or close. Jin, okay? Jin. Previously, we learned this Jin, but this Jin means to enter on number 7. Are we there? To enter, you see how it is written? It's like this, first of all. You can first draw two horizontal lines, okay? And then you can stretch this one. It's a little bit bent, okay? Coming leftwards, westwards. And then you can draw this or another straight. It is straight, okay? Yes. I don't have a ruler, so don't expect it to be so much straight as you would really love to see. So, and then you draw this one, and then something like this. It's like three, okay? A dot, three, and then stretch this thing right below this upper thing that is like a window. So this one is a well. You know, a well where we used to draw water in the village. It's like this, okay? And then in the middle there is a hole. A hole, then you send there a bucket, and then you pull water. Well, Jin. So this is Jin to come in. And then this Jin here is also the same tone, okay? But even the alphabet, the pinyin is the same. So this shows you that just alphabets in Chinese is not enough. Plus the tones themselves is not enough, okay? That's where we come to the characters. And the characters are also very important because in China, when you're texting, you don't use pinyin, we use Hanzi. Hanzi is these Chinese characters, okay? And then if you're a foreigner and you cannot read most of the characters, every time you can be struggling to translate. And sometimes when you translate, direct translation, sometimes it's not accurate. It can lie to you. So that's why it is important to learn Chinese. And if you're considering to spend your time, your good time in China, and you want maybe to make Chinese friends, or you want to do business in China, or you want to study in China, whatever it could be, as long as it has to do with China, then learning Chinese should be your number one consideration. Jin here means near or close. For example, your home can be close to your company, okay? Your school can be close to your home. Are we together? Jin. So very soon I'm going to be looking on how to use Jin in the sentence. So you can first look at these two new words and then try to take note of how they are written. This Jin is written, okay, you can write like this, okay, this, stretch this one, like this, and then draw this thing. Is like number 3, and then don't stop, just stretch it right below this thing. This is how I say Jin, near or close is an adjective. So you can be looking at the new words and then also look at the dialogue, and then very soon we're gonna be reading it together and try to learn something from the provided lesson. Is everything clear? Elder brother in Chinese, someone said, I think you wrote it in Chinese and then it appeared in English because the YouTube is providing the English translation. So it's Google. Elder brother in Chinese is Google. All right, so look at the provided dialogue. And you can be reading through slowly by slowly as we take a short break, like for 3-4 minutes. All right. Are you done reading? So, yeah, this is chapter 12, lesson 4. If you're enjoying our class so far, feel free to give us a thumbs up. You can click on that like button. Yeah, thank you very much. All right, so let's continue. Jin means near or close. All right, so let's look at dialogue. We have person A and person B, okay? And these people are going to be communicating to each other. So A says, it's a question. It says, 你在, look at this, 你在忙什么呢? Says 你在忙, okay? 你在忙什么呢? So every single word in this sentence, I hope we all know what it means, or we learned it in HSK1. First, the first one is 你, this is you, 你在, you are, okay? 忙 means what? Busy. Yeah, some people say I am busy. 忙 busy. 你在忙什么？什么 is what? And then 呢？你在忙什么呢？你在忙什么呢？ So you can repeat. 你在忙什么呢？ What are you busy with? So someone could call you maybe on a phone call and they'll ask you this question. Okay, 你在忙什么呢? What are you busy doing, or what are you busy with? And then it says 我弟弟. Look at this. The answer here says 我弟弟让我帮他找个房子. Let's read it once more. 我弟弟. You notice that in the middle between 我 and 弟弟, there is no connecting word like the, okay? Some people will say, can I say 我的弟弟? Some people can say 我的弟弟, but it is somehow sounds awkward and grammatically wrong. So if you say 我弟弟, it is correct because your younger brother, you're already connected, okay? You're already connected in biologically with DNA, okay? So you see, it makes no sense saying using the possessive to possess that he's your brother again, because you're already related to each other. For mother also, for people close to you, it is not necessary to use the, yes. But maybe if it is maybe your book, okay, yes, or maybe your home things, okay, you can say 我的家 my home, okay, 我的家. You can say 我的手机, okay, 我的老师. But if it is your mother, you can say 我妈妈. You see, the da is omitted. 我妈妈, 我爸爸 my father, 我弟弟, 我哥哥, 我姐姐, 我妹妹, okay? Those are family members in Chinese. You can say 我爷爷, 我奶奶, 我阿姨, we just looked at 阿姨, 我叔叔, and so on and so forth. So the person says 我弟弟, my younger brother, says my younger brother 让我, so my younger brother asked me, okay, 让 is ask me, 让我 or let me 帮他找个房子 to help him, okay, 帮 is to help, assist. This is 帮助, it came from 帮助, yes, but they cut it short because it is with other words. So 帮他找个房子. My elder brother asked me to find an apartment or a house. 房子 is a house. Repeat, 房子. This is very important. Earlier on, we learned 房间, and we said 房间 is a room. Okay, you see that they all have this 房, but here is 房子 The other one was 房间, so this one is 房子 house, and then it says 现在. 现在 is what? Now. Okay, 现在 means now, so it says 现在他家. Pay attention to this. It says 现在他家离公司有点远。Okay, 他家离 his home. Okay, right now I was looking a house for my younger brother, and 现在 now 他家 his home. You see, between ta and ja, they didn't put da also. Yeah, some people can put it, but in this case, you see, they just said taja li. So this li, last time we learned it and we said it is used when you're considering distance. Okay, for example, you see Jia and Gongsi, they are two different places. So it means this is your home, okay, and this is your company, and then the space between these two places is the distance. Okay, so if this space provided between your home and your company is 5 kilometers, then you say 我家 is here on the left. Okay, my home, this is my home and this is my company, so you can say 我家离 okay, 我家 this is my home, 离 the distance. Okay, look at this. This is my home, okay, and then this is the distance. This pen here in the middle, let me demonstrate it like this. Are we following? This is my home, okay, and then this pen is the distance between my home, and then plus B is my company, okay, and then if this distance between my home and my company is 5 kilometers, then I'll use li to demonstrate it and say 我家离公司 okay 有5公里5公里 is 5 kilometers. Let me write it down here. Let me write that sentence because it is very important. In future, you might need to use it in one way or another. So it says 我家里公司有 you can say 5公里 maybe 5 kilometers. It can be more than that, it can be less than that, it just depends. This is just an example, so you can replace 5公里 with whatever you want. So you can say, and you can replace 我家 with any other place. Maybe 我学校 my school, my home, my workplace. Okay, 我家离公司 is company. 公司 is company. 有 means to have. 5公里有5公里. So let me write. This is how we write it in Chinese. So you can just type the pinyin and then you have the Chinese characters on your you can type the Chinese characters on your keyboard. I see someone is asking a question. Do we have Sundas in our class? If Sundas, you can hear us, you can type 1 in the chat box. I see Sumira, but I cannot see Sundas. I don't know where she is, but I really hope she will also join us, or maybe she's already with us. I don't know. Yeah, but this is the sentence. Let me try to paste it. Yeah, this is how we write it in Chinese. I sent it in the chat box. Yes, my home is 5 kilometers away from my company. Yes, 我家离公司有5公里. So that's how you write it. And then, okay, let's move on. It says 他家离公司有点儿. So his home his younger brother, so far, we can now tell that his younger brother is working and he was looking for a new home. And then now, the new home that he found is a little bit far. Yodiar, a little bit, okay? Yodiar is a little bit, not so much, okay? Because if you say hen yuan, then that would be very far. But here is Yodiar yuan. So this yuan is written like this. You know the Chinese yuan, the Chinese money? The Chinese currency is written like this, yuan, yi yuan. This is the Chinese currency. It's just two horizontal lines and then two hooks. You can call them hooks if you want, or whatever. Yeah, so you just need to know how it is written for Chinese yuan currency. And then if it is yuan with a third tone, then we shall write it like this, and the meaning will change, and the meaning here will be yuan, which is far, okay? Far as in distance. 大家明白了吗? Are we together? So it says 他家离公司有点远. His home is far, a little bit far from his company. So it says 住得远真的很累. Look at this. This is very important. 住 is like to live, okay, or to stay. For example, 我住在西安, okay? Then saying I live in Xi'an. 我住在北京, I live in Beijing. 我住在上海, okay? 我住在 Kampala, I live in Kampala. 我住在 Kigali, I live in Kigali. 我住在Islamabad, okay? I live in Islamabad. 住 to live or to stay, okay? And then it says 住得远, 住的 this day, 住得远 living far, okay, or to live far, 真的, okay, really, really, 很累. 很累 means very tired or exhausted. 累 is to feel tired or exhausted. So it says 住得远真的很累, living or to stay far, or it's really exhausting to live far. Yeah, so when you live far from your school and then every time you need to go there, then it might not be so easy for you. It might be really exhausting if you live far from your school or your workplace. All right. So sure, he says sure. So this is a compliment. Someone says something and then you agree with whatever they say. For example, I say, wow, that guy is very smart, okay? And then you also agree, okay? You're like, that's true, that's true. Then you say sure in Chinese, okay? So you can say sure. So this sure can be a compliment, but it can also be an answer, okay? For example, someone can ask you, 你吃饭了吗? Simple as that. Have you eaten? This is a simple question. Chinese like asking this question a lot, and speakers of Chinese as well, of course. So when you're learning a language, you find yourself in some kind of way, you're learning the culture, and before you know, if you don't pay much attention, you might divert also in culture. Yeah. So you need to learn other cultures, but keeping your culture is important. Yes. You can act as Romans do, but don't forget that outside Roman or outside Rome, there is also your culture, which is your mother culture. Sure is yes, okay, it's true. 他也希望. So I was talking about 吃饭了吗? And they say, sure, I have eaten, okay? Or maybe this food is really tasty. 这个菜很好吃, or 中国菜很好吃. Chinese dish is very delicious. And then you say, sure, I also agree, that's true, okay? 中国菜很好吃. We all agree Chinese dish is very delicious. Okay. Whatever it is, provided it is Chinese dish, it is delicious. And then you say, sure, sure. 吃饭了吗 is not just asked when you want to know whether someone ate or not. It can also be a form of greeting. Yeah, some people just use it like that for maybe they're checking on you. It's not like they want to give you something to eat or what. Some people will take it in another way, but most times I've realized it's like maybe showing between if you're especially close friends. It's like someone cares, and they're asking you if you ate. Yeah. However, some if you didn't eat, however, some maybe can tell you maybe you can go have dinner or lunch or breakfast or whatever together. Can treat you to a meal. 我们可以一起吃饭. Yeah, but in most cases I've seen is just checking on you. Even if you say I didn't eat, then the conversation will continue. So it's a sure. 他也希望能住得近一点儿. So sometimes when you're working or living in a town or in a city, you realize that houses that are close to the city are a bit expensive. And the ones that are a bit far from the city or the center or the town, I don't know, however I could say it, could be a bit cheaper. So maybe this younger brother got a house that is a bit cheap and it was a bit far from his company and it was really exhausting. So he chose far and exhaustion than near, okay, and expensive, yeah, and relaxation. So yeah, sure. 他也希望 he also wishes. He also wishes. 希望 is wish. Okay. 他也希望 he also wishes 能住得近一点儿. Nang is capacity, okay, or can, okay, can live or would live. 住的 is to live, of course. 住的近一点儿. He also wishes to live nearer. 近一点儿. All right, I give you like 2 minutes to go through the dialogue we just read between person A. Maybe person A could be, yeah, there are two ladies actually discussing. Can give them names if you want, whatever. Yeah, so in this dialogue, we just learned two new words, Didi, younger brother, and Jin, which is near. But you need also to know the opposite of Jin, which is Yuan, is also important. So last time I gave you a tip. I said, if you're learning a word, it's better if it has an opposite. Like this one, Jin is an adjective. But if you know how to say near, then it's important to know how to say far, okay? Yes. We also learned Mang. Okay, Mang is also mostly used. 希望, yeah, these words are very important. 弟弟, 我弟弟, my younger brother, and there is no da in the middle. So just say 我, which is bang, bang is to help. 找个房子, look for, 找 is to look for a house. 现在他家离公司离 this 离 I also mentioned it in terms of distance, and then yuan, which is far, and then 住 which is to live. You remember in HSK1 when we learned about the husband who was probably going for a business trip, and then he said he's going to Beijing. He was going to Beijing, and then the wife was asking him, Nina, 在北京住几天? So 住 is not just to live, like 我住在 place in a particular place, but it can also be like to stay somewhere for a specific or specified time um, or period. For example, you can say, just like the sentence, you just say, 你能在北京住几天? How long will you be staying in Beijing? But some Chinese will use the word 待 also, okay? 你能在中国待多久? How long will you be staying in China? We shall look at that in future, slowly by slowly, as we learn our Chinese. It's really interesting, and yeah, it's really interesting. I love learning and I love teaching. So if you're in my circle, I'd say you're really blessed. So just keep the track, okay? Yeah, keep the track. Be consistent, join our classes daily, and then you'll be growing and learning every day. So gender, gender really 很累 is very tired. 希望 all right, 1 more minute. Yep, you can be looking at the dialogue. Or someone is asking, where am I from? 我来自, let me, should I say it in Chinese, or I should say it in English, or which language? So how do you say, what's your nationality in Chinese? You can type it in the chat box, then I'll reply you. Last time we learned it in HSK1. If you missed any of the classes, you can still go through the classes. I try to record and upload our past lessons on YouTube. Yeah, on our YouTube channel. We have not so many actually, because from January we used to study Monday until now, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 4 days in a week. Yep. So we also did some past papers, and very soon, when we are done with this book, then we shall do some HSK2 past papers, like 3 of them, and then we shall move to book 3. Yes, if you don't have the book yet, I strongly recommend to text me on WhatsApp, via WhatsApp or WeChat, whichever that is convenient for you. Then I'll send you the book, because when we are learning, it's better when you have the book physical, okay? The not the PDF, because the PDF, if it is on a phone, then it's I think it's a bit challenging. If you're the person who likes taking notes, you like marking, where I mark, you put the marks, then it's really important to have that book, okay? So if you don't have the book 2 yet, as we are coming to the end of book 2, you need to buy all these learning materials. 你以前学习汉语在哪儿？我以前就在孔子学院学汉语，对。I learned Chinese from the Confucius Institute, and I started learning Chinese. It was in the first time I heard about Chinese was 2017. Yeah, it was 2017, and by that time I was in Luanda, I was in Rwanda. And then I started learning from the Confucius Institute, and then I continued learning in COVID. I started learning alone, and then after that, then I went to Makerere, Makerere. There's also a Confucius Institute. I was there for a short time. I did some also papers from there for HSK. And yeah, I continued learning Chinese, of course, when I reached in China. When I reached in China, I also continued learning Chinese. So until now, I'm still learning. Yeah, there is, yeah, you can graduate, you can have the greatest certificates, but if you're that person who likes learning, there is nothing. Learning is a lifestyle. It's learning doesn't stop. Yeah, you continue learning because I believe when you stop learning, then something in you, and not small, very something big, very big in you will die. So you don't want to lose that important thing in you. And the only way to do that is to keep learning. How long have you been learning Chinese? 3 or 5? I just mentioned I started in 2018. So you can count from 2018 until now and see the time I've been learning Chinese. All right. Maybe we shall have a question and answer session in future because I see some of us have um, some good questions, some good questions, and then if there is a need for that, we shall do is a question and answer session. All right. So I don't want to stress you guys a lot. I know we had a very busy day, and some of us need to go and rest, of course. So next time we shall be learning, yeah, we shall be looking at some few grammar points, and then we shall go to chapter 13 because now chapter 12 is done. So summary of chapter 12, we learned here 妻子. We say 妻子 is wife, okay? And then you see a bowl of rice here. You say 再来点儿米饭, okay? So someone is giving him some rice. 再来点儿米饭，再来点儿米饭吧。米饭 is rice. 你吃的太少了，你吃的太少了。You ate too little, okay? You ate too little rice. They're adding him some more rice. And then it says 不少了 is not little. 今天吃的很好，今天吃的很好。I enjoyed the meal. 吃的很好 He ate very well. 太谢谢你了 Thank you very much. 太谢谢你了 Thank you so much. 你做饭做得怎么样？How well can you cook? You see, 你做饭 after 做 then the 做 comes back 做的 okay? So you can use this approach and replace 做 is a verb. So you can say, if you want to know how someone does things, you can say 你说中文 You speak Chinese, I know, but how do you speak Chinese? How well do you speak Chinese? Then you say 你说中文说的怎么样？怎么样 means how, okay? Some people when they are checking on you, maybe a formal greeting, they say 怎么样？怎么样？ Or maybe you call my name and I'll be like 怎么样? It's like saying what's up? What's going on? 怎么样？咋样? Yeah, some other also shorten it. 咋样? And then it says 不怎么样, you see? 怎么样? How? And then 不怎么样. It's like not really very well. So this is a negative answer to 怎么样. Someone says 怎么样? 你说哈，你说的怎么样? And then 不怎么样. How is your Chinese 不怎么样? You see? Yeah, so it's like not very well. 我妻子比我做得好. My wife, 我妻子 is wife. So if we know wife, then what's husband? Last time we mentioned it. Husband is 丈夫. Like this, 丈夫. So you need to know husband also how it's written in Chinese. 丈夫. 我妻子比 means to be better. Someone is better than you in anything. So you're comparing two persons, of course, because better, you're it's comparative, okay? Comparing two persons. Yeah, last time, yeah, there's comparative. Superlative is then more than two persons, 3 and above. But here is comparative, two persons. So I say 我妻子is person A. 我 is person B. Okay, let's say I'm B. So you're comparing them. So when you're comparing two persons or two things or two teams, then use B. So sometimes you'll be watching a football match, okay? And maybe it is Arsenal and Manchester United, and Manchester United maybe has 2 goals. Okay, Arsenal has 0. It's just an example. Okay, if you're an Arsenal fan, I'm sorry if it feels offensive, but yeah, Man U maybe has 2 and Arsenal has 0. Then you're comparing these two. So you say RB Lin. So you compare RB Lin 2 to 0. Yes, so RB Lin. So you'll be saying like there is that gap. Okay, yeah. Man Lian, Man Lian B Arsenal. You can say Manchester B Arsenal or Arsenal B Manchester, whichever. Yeah. So RB Lin. So then you're saying 2 goals then to 0. Both them are young. So this was lesson 2, and then lesson 1 was this day. So I said this day, this the is used after a verb. So we've seen it very many times, and then it is an adjective to introduce a complement of result or degree. So here if I said 你每天早上几点起床? This question we encounter it many times in our life. What time do you wake up in the morning? You see a clock here, right? 你每天早上 every day is 每天，早上 is in the morning. 几点 is what time? 起床. Last time I was talking to my Chinese friend, and those friends of mine, their English is good. One of them is called Cao, and we were talking about the Chinese grammar, how it is really easy. I was like, Chinese, to me, when you master Chinese, okay, the characters might be the trickiest part, but if you also give it time, yeah, there is a saying in Chinese, 经常所记经是未开. Like if you're really focused to something, even the stones and metal can open with just a spear. Yeah, you know, an arrow. Yeah, an arrow can hit the stone or metal, and then the metal will open because it's not ordinary. Okay, so you need to get to that extraordinary level, and that's when you do extraordinary things. But if you're still ordinary, then I'm sorry to say so, but we shall still see ordinary. So 你每天早上几点起床 is what I was saying, and then it says 六点多. So the Chinese grammar, you see here, it says 你每天 you then plus every day. Okay, in English maybe you say when do you get up? You see, to me the English grammar is not easy as compared to Chinese. I don't know how it sounds in your ears, but for me, Chinese grammar, I find it so much easier because maybe there is nothing like tenses. Yeah, not present. Maybe you can just say a day or in the morning, and then someone will say, okay, then that is, if we are in the afternoon, then that is past automatically. The verb is not conjugated. Okay. Yes. When do you get up? Every morning. 你 is you. 每天 every day. So you every day in the morning. What time? Wake up. In English, it's need to wake up. In Chinese, just 起床. Qi is to get up. 床 is the bed. So just connect. It's just a matter of build. It's like building blocks and put them together, and then you form one word or one sentence. So that is the simple grammar of Chinese. So if you want to learn Chinese, speaking is easy. Listening is easy. Okay. And grammar is easy. Characters are also easy. Okay. Yeah, characters are also easy. They might be a little hard as compared to the other aspects like speaking, listening, and reading. Yes, writing, I think for some people is a little bit tricky, but if you give it time, and you try to put yourself under a little bit pressure, then it will be much easier for you. 6点多 is like 6, a few minutes past 6. It's not just 6 because they say 6点. 6 is number 6, then plus 点 is time. Okay, it means o'clock. So you can say the number plus dian, then you'll be saying it is this time. So if you know Leo is number 6, then plus dian, then it is 6 o'clock. If it is 7, 7 in Chinese is qi, then plus dian, so it will be qi dian. If number 8 is ba, and then it is 8 p.m., then you say it is ba dian, okay, 8 o'clock. Then they said duo, this duo means more or much. So it is not just Leo dian, because when you look at this clock here, it is a few minutes. How many minutes past 6? Yeah, you can tell time. You can tell time by looking at this. A few minutes past 6. And then it says, Ni biwo. Ni biwo, you're better than me. In what ways? B, we say this comparing things, okay? Ni biwo zao qi. You get up 1 hour earlier than I do. 你比我早起1个小时。1个小时 is 1 hour. 小时 is hour. 我睡得也早。I also sleep early. 我每天晚上10点就睡觉。I sleep at 10. Slowly, I might be going so fast. It says 我睡的. You see the da here is used after a verb, okay? I'm emphasizing this because I know some students here tonight, maybe you were not with us last time when we were learning this. So I'm just going back. And those who learned it, maybe we need to be reminded. 我睡得也早. I sleep, but I need to describe how do I sleep. Oh, yes, everyone sleeps. You sleep, I sleep, they sleep. 我睡得 how, okay? So in this case, it's after verb to sleep, okay? To introduce complement of result. So there's a complement or a degree, okay? 我睡得也早 I sleep early, not late, early 也早。我每天 I every day 晚上 okay? He says 我每天 He says 我每天晚上10点就10点 is 10 o'clock, okay? 我每天晚上10点就睡觉。I sleep at 10. 早睡, okay? This is important. 早睡早起身体. This is a very famous Chinese saying that 早睡 is to sleep early. Yeah, we all sleep early. 早起 is to wake up early. For example, you sleep at 10 p.m. and then you wake up by 6 a.m. Okay, that is sleeping early and waking up early. Yeah, and then it says 身体. 身体 is the body, but in this case, it represents our health. Okay, yes, our overall health. It is also called 身体, but the body in Chinese is called 身体. So 身体 is the health. How? That means your health is good. So this is a very famous saying in Chinese. Everyone knows it, even the young kids. It's like, yeah, very popular. 早睡 is to sleep early. 早起 wake up early. 身体好 your body will be in good condition. You will be healthy. 早睡早起身体好。早睡早起身体好。Yeah, but most people are violating this rule. Yeah, some of us, we just maybe 早睡 and then 晚起, or maybe 晚睡 sleep late and wake up late, or maybe sleep late and maybe wake up early. Yeah, so it's just all mixed up. All right, so this is just a simple and quick summary. Yeah, quick summary of what we learned and covered in the past few days. And having said all this, we started 12 8 minutes past 12, and then we spent an hour on the live stream YouTube. And this brings us to the end of our class tonight. Before you leave, you can give us a thumbs up, you can give us a like, and if you didn't subscribe to our channel, kindly do well to subscribe. By doing so, you will be able to see more updates, you'll be able to see more content, and you will be appreciating teachers' work, okay? Because I'm providing all these lessons for you guys. So if you really find it helpful and important, you can also recommend to your friends, okay?